Hello, welcome to another edition of Talking Sports and Fitness with Zeke. I'm Zeke, sometimes known as Mike Zielinski. My guest today is Rudy Ruth. Welcome, Rudy.
Thank you, Mike.
Rudy has quite a remarkable story to share with us, I believe. I don't think this happens very often. He started the water polo program back in the day at Wilson High School, which is an aquatic power between the swim teams and water polo. I think it's actually in Honolulu instead of West Lawn. But anyway, Rudy went from that for doing a number of years and became the superintendent of the school district, which is quite a transition we'll talk about. And now he's gone back because you've retired. You look way too young to be retired. And you were back coaching the water polo team because I guess Adam Filer left because he has a young family, spent time with his family. So you're back coaching. You haven't lost your touch. I think your team is 7-0 as of this taping. You're doing great, especially with a team that lost a lot of players from last year. So tell us a little bit about, well, first of all, how does it feel to go back to water polo after being the superintendent?
It feels great. The originator of the program was Roy Snyder, who...
Oh, I thought you started.
No, I took over for Roy, but Roy began the program, and I was so honored when he asked me to step in and coach over 30 years ago. But it just feels great getting back working with kids. That's been the biggest pleasure. My superintendency and my time at Wilson was fantastic, but it feels so good to get back working with kids day to day, which is why I got into education.
Yeah, superintendents don't do that very often.
I see kids, I used to see kids as a superintendent, but not get to interact as much as I would have liked.
Is it unusual? I mean, a lot of your coaching brethren, I know some coaches have become superintendents. Jeff Sparagana, who was a football coach at Reading High one time, I think in Pottsgrove or one of those places, he's superintendent. I know Vince Szymanski, who I played for at Central Catholic back in the day, he was the principal. But becoming the superintendent, it's kind of rare, right, for a coach?
I think it is somewhat rare, and I was very blessed to be at Wilson almost my entire educational career. I went from a teacher and just worked my way up, so it worked out fantastic. It was wonderful.
What are you going to miss most about being a superintendent?
I got to work with a fantastic school board. We have a great community, great professional staff, so I miss that. And that would probably be the biggest miss because the people I got to interact with every single day were great.
I actually live in the Wilson School District, so I agree with you. I don't know if you had any influence on that being in the athletic fraternity, but the athletic facilities at Wilson are fantastic,
We did floated a bond a little while ago when the rates were really low, and we really made a decision as a community to just get everything where we wanted it to be, and now we're in great shape. We're very blessed. It's wonderful.
What will you miss least about being a superintendent? I suspect it might be deciding whether you're calling off school.
That I will not miss. I took very seriously being responsible for, we have about 6,000 students and over 1,200 employees. And that's a lot of responsibility, and I don't miss that so much.
Okay. All right, so let's get back to water polo. You have a young team, and you're off to a great start already. What is it about Wilson water polo that makes the program so successful?
I think it's the culture, and Coach Filer and previous coaches have done a nice job, and Roy Snyder just built a foundation that's fantastic, and everything feeds into the different programs. All our water polo players swim, our swimmers play water polo.
I would say, having such a great swim program helps water polo.
Absolutely.
Vice versa.
Right, very much so. So we're able to continue that success. We did graduate this 6 of 7 of our starters this past year, but we have a group of kids that are just hardworking, nice kids who give maximum effort all the time.
I guess it's very important that you have this established culture because this is a school district in the fall for boys. I mean, obviously the football legacy speaks for itself. The boys soccer team has been tremendously successful over the years, and now as we tape, they're in the running they're in the county title game. Is it tough sometimes you lose kids to football or soccer?
I'll tell you what, that's a really good point, Mike. It's extremely tough. I say to people all the time, all of our sports are good. Okay, so we're all going after that athlete base to get the critical number of kids you need for a program. So it's challenging. What we try to do is hone in on kids that have some potential in the sport and then focus on those kids. But it's work, but it's a job. You're recruiting kind of in a way all the time.
Is one of the recruiting pitches, because the kids who play in your program really get nice athletic rides to nice schools where it's harder to get a full ride. First of all, there are no full rides in soccer anymore. They're all partial. Football, obviously, D1. I mean, there are a few players, obviously, Wilson's had, but the average kid, even if he's a good high school player, isn't going to be.
We find that the biggest thing that it helps with our program is it affords children the opportunity to get into schools they may not have been able to get into. I know for my family, my son and my daughter played in college, and they were able to go to great schools that water polo definitely helped them gain admission.
Well, your son went to Princeton, correct?
That's correct.
And he played 4 years there and was the captain of the team. He was also All-American in high school.
He was a two-time All-American in water polo and swimming in high school. And
did he compete for you?
I was like a volunteer coach at the time because I was an administrator, but he also was, I'm a little dad bragging here, he was the county javelin champion his senior year.
Oh, I didn't know that. Boy, there's some athletic genes. So, your daughter Molly was also an All-American in water polo, and she played at Maryland until they discontinued the program.
That's correct, right.
Is it rare to discontinue women's sports on the college level? It's usually the so-called minor sports in men that are, because of Title IX, that are whacked.
After my daughter's second year at Maryland, Maryland dropped 9 sports. And
whoa,
yeah,
that's amazing.
They did, and they wanted to funnel more sports towards some of the other programs, and that was a tough one. Yeah.
Yeah. Did she think about transfer?
She didn't, because she really liked the school, and she picked the school for the school, and she had a great experience at Maryland.
Yeah, that's a beautiful school.
It is.
Your wife also very involved in water polo. She's currently the women's or the girls' assistant coach at Wilson, right?
She is.
And she's been with you almost every step of the way.
She has been. We will be married 30 years this coming summer. And what's interesting is her background, the only background she had before we started dating was she played a year of inner tube water polo at Syracuse when she was up there. So she really learned her way.
So that wasn't a prerequisite on your
part? That was
part?
not, but she's been a blessing.
There's a funny story. Don Shula was one of the great coaches of all time, and his sons were very athletic. One played in the majors, the other one played in the NFL. In fact, one's an offensive coordinator with the Panthers. Well, back then, women, because Don Shula was like probably in his 80s, they didn't play a lot of sports. Before he married his wife, he made her go through agility drills and running drills to see what her athletic aptitude was, and apparently she passed the test. You know?
Well, and just a little aside that goes right with that, Mike. The first time I met my wife's family, I walked in, and her brother said, "Hey, Sue, way to go! You're finally dating a guy whose shoulders are broader than yours." Because my wife is very athletic, so that was nice.
Now, did you play water polo?
I did. I played water polo at Westchester University.
Okay, but you didn't play in high school because a lot of programs didn't have it
No,
then,
I
right?
did not. No.
Yeah. What did you play in high school? Football?
No, I actually was a swimmer.
Okay.
And I was in student government and different things, and then I went off to Westchester where I did water polo in the fall. I swam, and I did some boxing in the winter, and I played lacrosse in the spring.
Oh, really? Boxing?
Yeah.
There used to be, I know Notre Dame for years, an intramural boxing, but I guess a lot of colleges have
They did,
that out. Yeah. What is it about water polo? I mean, it's a hard physical sport, right? It's a lot of endurance, a lot of treading water.
In fact, the 2 sports, I did coach swimming, but I coached wrestling at Wilson for years and years.
Oh, did you really?
And with Tom Morgantini and
I used to work with Tom.
All those guys. Tom was great.
Yeah.
But it's a very physical sport. Not only the going back and forth and you're treading everything, but it's very physical. A lot of grabbing, pulling, banging around, which makes it fun.
But I can see, swimming is fun. Although I have to say this, I come from a basketball background, and I used to laugh because when the wrestling team came out of practice, they looked like they went through, I don't know, I guess you can't say hell, went through heck. But we had fun playing basketball.
Yeah, right. That's exactly right. Yes, very much so.
What has been the difference, because you're coaching kids that knew you as a superintendent. How has that gone? Because now you're Coach Ruth.
It's gone well. We just, I guess everybody has their bias towards the kids they coach, but the young men that I have the opportunity to coach are just wonderful. They've been great. They do everything I ask them to do. We only have one senior this year, and they're great kids, and they've worked very hard.
So you're building for the future.
We are. Yeah, we're building our middle school program all the way up, like all sports do.
So you're back in the saddle.
Yes.
And it feels good.
It feels great.
And it keeps you, because I'm sure you have other pursuits, but you can really focus on water polo now, right?
I can. I'm on a number of 5 different boards, both community and religious, and some athletic boards. But it's a nice balance, and it's neat to be back working with kids, which is, again, why I got an education.
All right, Rudy Ruth, remarkable story. Keep up the great work at Wilson, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thanks so much, Mike. Appreciate it.
All right, and For now, this is Zeke saying goodbye. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and also subscribe to the People Chronicles channel on YouTube. Aloha.
These community stories are made possible in part by BCTV, Susie Ray Design, Queen City Family Restaurant, Lamar Advertising, Heidelberg Family Restaurant, Reading Air, Lions and Hole, Peanut Bar, and Kutztown University.